Hi, my name is Danielle Harder, and I'm submitting my Autism PowerPoint presentation for Stacy Ingram's Structure and Functions of the Human Body course. Autism has always been known to affect the brain, but did you know that it affects much more? It can affect the gastrointestinal tract, also known as the GI tract, cause asthma, and various skin and allergy conditions. Despite numerous amounts of research, there is still no definitive cause for autism. However, there are currently several different factors that are thought to play a role in the cause, and we'll go over a few of them right now. One of the biggest causes right now that we're looking into is genetics. Scientists have begun to understand that there are over 100 different genes that can be linked to autism. And another one is an expectant mother of an advanced age. So women kind of older on in their reproductive stage of life, it can happen, genetic mutations will occur, and autism can be a result of one of those. But we also have an expectant mother of any age, despite young or older. Anyone that has been exposed to high levels of pesticides during gestation can end up with a child being born with autism as a result. And right now there's currently no way of preventing a child from developing a condition. But I do want to go over one of the most controversial topics pertaining to the causation of autism, and that is vaccinations. No matter where you go or who you talk to, if they have kids, they have an opinion on this. Despite the fact that the research from Dr. Andrew Wakefield has been disputed many times for having conflict of interest, and just there's no hard evidence for it. People still around here believe that vaccines can be linked to autism, but until we have definitive proof on that one, that's really not something that we can go with. But I just wanted to let you guys know how important, how this does play a factor in people thinking about autism and vaccinations. So some of the signs and symptoms of autism can range from mild to severe, and they can be such things such as mood swings, obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety, sleep deficits, language impairment, repetitive behaviors, and up to 39% of the children on the spectrum suffer from seizure disorders. Another one of the symptoms can be pica, and for those of you who don't know what pica is, it's actually this condition where your body craves non-food items such as dirt or sticks or maybe even soap. So that's a big one to look for in children with autism. That's definitely something you need to be aware of. Also, some of the more common symptoms that everybody kind of recognizes is social inability and sensory processing problems. While there's currently no medical treatment or cure for autism spectrum disorder, the only type of treatment typically given to help alleviate symptoms is occupational therapy. This can help patients learn to control certain behavioral habits or difficulties that they might be having. It also helps to teach social interaction and proper play therapy for patients, usually starting after the age of 2. For those that may be speech delayed or completely nonverbal, occupational therapy can help the patients learn to articulate words or learn other methods of communication such as sign language or pointing to pictures so that you kind of get an understanding of what their needs are. So the effects of autism. There are no certain short or long-term effects of autism because there are so many different factors to consider, and symptoms can vary drastically on the spectrum from one individual to another. Although it is a condition that can be extremely hard to handle as a child, as an adult living with autism spectrum disorder, it can kind of get a little easier to manage, with the help of your therapies. But despite all of the obstacles that come with having autism. It is believed that some of the most brilliant people in the world were in fact autistic. Being different doesn't mean being lesser in any way at all. It has been thought that both Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein were on the spectrum. But where would we be today without their outstanding contributions to society? Nikola Tesla was one of the greatest inventors of his time, despite the fact that, he might have been a little misunderstood at the time, but that's the story for another day. And Albert Einstein, theory of relativity and every other contribution that he has made to make advances in, the scientific world. Where would we be without those two people that could have potentially been on the spectrum disorder? Were they alive today to be diagnosed with it? Okay, so here are my references from all of the websites. If you would like any further information on any of the topics that I have discussed, I appreciate your time and I hope that you all have a wonderful day.